Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. The mother of Philando Castile said at a press briefing after they had acquitted the officer of murdering him, she stated that, quote, "I hope he dies tonight," referring to the officer that shot and killed Philando Castile for reaching to get his driver's license and his concealed handgun license. The officer stated that he was afraid for his life. Then why are you a police officer if you are afraid for your life? When he posed no movement that would be considered as a threat, but yet the officer was afraid of his life, meaning that the officer failed to be in the right mental state to perform his duties. He failed to notify the public that what makes him afraid or what was his fears while out patrolling in a public neighborhood. If his fears were of black men, then why be in that area and why pull over black men if that's your fears? If an officer is afraid of black men, then he shouldn't be in that environment because he's not thinking with a rational mind. His head is not on or not wrapped too tight. And the mother understands this. It's just that she wasn't afraid to take this thing where she felt it needed to go. And that is put it in the hands of the Creator. What she's saying is these protests, these marches, the verbal back and forth doesn't work when you have a person who's dead set on believing stereotypes or grouping all black people in one barrel. So she reached out to the heavens and she said, God, and I'm paraphrasing now, God, kill him tonight. God, take out that officer that murdered my son. Choke him in his sleep, God. Take him out because we receive no justice from the people that's in power or in charge. God, no one cares about us. They slaughter us in the street daily. The justice system. The people who our tax dollars are paid to. They lock us up, Lord, with no reason at all. And then falsely accuse us of a crime that we had nothing to do about. And no one comes to our aid, Lord. She was saying this officer, Lord, who took out her son, take him out with the strength of your mighty hand. Strike a blow to his head. Give us justice. Because we tried everything. We tried sitting in. We've tried marching in. We tried singing in. Some of us even tried to be them, oh Lord, and it hasn't worked. Some of us thought that our skin would save us. The lighter we are, the more mercy they'd show, and it's not happening. Some of us felt as though the darker our skin is, we were powerless, Lord, in this country. So she's saying, Lord, take him in his sleep. You don't even have to take him in his sleep. Just take him tonight. is what she was alluding to. She said, "You said that you were vengeful, God, and vengeance is mine, said the Lord. Strike vengeance on him, Lord. Beat him down. And that way we can rest easy and have some justice in this country, Lord." I mean, that was the interpretation. Now, some people don't believe in a higher entity. So, to some, what she stated fell on deaf ears. And the only thing the public can do is sit back and watch and see if her prayers were answered. But she didn't say go out there and be violent and start riots and harm innocent people or people who had nothing to do with it just because they're white. She didn't say that. Or just because they're a police officer. She just stated for that one who senselessly killed her child. She's saying she wants vengeance, and she's saying that it's not going to come through the justice system or the courtroom because he can lie and say, well, he smelled marijuana, but no marijuana was found. They can lie and say he lunged at him, but the camera showed otherwise. They can lie and say all sorts of things and play to the negative stereotype that is portrayed against black males, and they won't have any sympathy out of 10 white jurors and 2 black. So, again, the recourse, it seems, is not violence, according to the sentiment of Miss Castillo, Philando Castile's mother. The recourse is for a living God, she said, when she stated that she hoped that officer dies tonight. Once again, she wasn't speaking of physical violence and someone comes and takes him out. She's simply saying that God, from what she read in the scripture, that he's a vengeful God. Her son was murdered senselessly to take him out. And so, as I stated, we're just sitting back, examining this thing. Now, you may have some conspiracy theorists who says that, well, Bill Cosby got acquitted, so that was a trade-off. Let the officer go, let Bill Cosby go. But Bill Cosby doesn't speak for the black community. That, if it's true, that shouldn't have been a trade-off. We don't, Philando Castile, by working in the community, he touched more people every day in his everyday walk of life than Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby can just get on a TV set and reach out to millions, but the actual hand-to-hand every day as a teacher who the children loved, who he made an impact on their life as a worker in a school, I should say. From what the people who knew him stated, that he was a good man, a good person. That the children loved this guy. So if the children and people around him, and even the white female who worked at that school, when she gave her account of Mr. Castillo, it was nothing short of praise. So what mindset did the officer have in order for him to be afraid for his life when nothing showed any potential threat or danger? Is it saying that that officer's afraid of his shadow? You say boo and he starts shooting, then he's unstable. That's why they fired him, and saying that he wouldn't be a good fit for Minneapolis, due to his actions or his admitted fear of young black men. So that means that other officers who share that officer's mindset could see black men pull him over and he's shaking so hard that his first thought is kill or be killed, when he overplayed the situation when there was no need for deadly force, because there was no verbal shouting match between Mr. Castillo and that officer. So this is a question to all the pastors, whether you black, white, Hispanic, or not. Is vengeance the Lord, and does he seek retribution for the innocent? If there's a God, will he seek retribution for Philando Castile? Will the preachers pray for the retribution of Philando Castile? Or will they say, God forgives and forgive the officer that brutally murdered Mr. Castillo, when the Bible states in eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, and justice will be carried out through the hands of God? I mean, this is a question for the Christian pastors, preachers. Oh, is she right or was she wrong to seek out death to the one who murdered her son from the Creator, from God? Was she just in stating that? From accounts of the Bible and all the murders that go on through that history of in that period of time, God killed many. So, was she justified in asking the Creator to take out the officer who took out her son? I mean, that's just something to think about, because it had to be heavy on her heart for her to make that statement in front of the millions that tuned in. The frustration of another young black male who's murdered, and the officer that murdered him is acquitted and walks away. We'll just have to see. But yeah, it's sad. And it's very sad, you know. But this is Vero Pick Radio, where we keep bringing you interesting topics. Don't forget to check out the movie trailer, Everyday People, on YouTube. Don't forget to support and tell your friends. In the near future, we'll be posting a GoFundMe page, and put your nickels and dimes and quarters and dollars, $5, $100, $1,000, to support black independent film, because if we don't tell our story through our eyes, we can't expect others to tell it the way we think it should be told, because they're not us. Burrow Pig Radio, we're out.